Good evening, viewers, and welcome to the first episode of Giving Ground Extra. Unlike my normal Giving Ground series where I look at the people and the players, this one is going to be looking at current events and topics. Tonight, I'm going to be introducing Tom Carley, who's recently been part of Team England out there in Mel, Germany with the World Team Championships. So, before we get started, please give me a like and subscribe, press that thumb up, leave some comments, and without any more hesitation, let me bring Tom into the chat. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have Tom Carley here tonight of Team England and UK Resin Prince. He's here to talk about his recent experiences with Team England over at the World Team Championships and England's very successful visit there. So welcome here, Tom.
Evening, Andy. Cheers for having me. Yeah, it's been a wild ride, crazy few days, so can't wait to talk all about it.
That's great. So we're going to break the whole experience down from the start to the finish, really, and hopefully keep it to an hour so we don't just ramble on. But yeah, so I'm pretty sure the two of us could.
Oh, it's so easy to do. I just got off filming with Ed with Close Order today, and that was 3 hours. So woe betide him editing that one down.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could probably end up boring half of England if we just go at it. But yeah, so can you tell me a little bit about the original selection and the preparation of getting the 18 players together and the extra members?
Yeah, so obviously Richie put himself up to be captain originally. That was then a public vote where set up a Team England Discord, and the captain's bids, as it were, they were all laid out in front of us in a Discord. We could all read through them, and then I think it was a private voting system where you then had to email in. So there was, I think there was it got down to a 2-horse race in the end between Richie and one of the bloke, and then Richie came out on top. I then applied for vice captain. That was a closed one because it was felt that Richie needed to pick someone who was personal to him.
Right.
Could feel, and I see it now after doing it for a year, it's crazy how close those two people get. The whole team whole really, really does become, like I've got 8 new best mates now, or 10 new best mates. You know, me and Richie inhabit a little part of each other's brains where we're talking 2 to 3 hours every single day on the phone. So he needed to have that, personal choice as opposed to being a full team choice.
Yeah, my overarching view of this, and I didn't have a whole lot to do with it. I'm on the Team England Discord and I've been along to a few events and stuff like that. But going back to 2008 when I took Team England over to Italy, and to now, the level of input, I guess, the level of professionality is just, it's gone from there to there.
Which is what we set out to do, because there is the notion in the past, certainly back in your heyday of doing teams, it was boys clubs, it was how it was run. It was, here's me and my 7 mates, we're really good at the game, I'm going to slap an England sticker on my shirt and away we go.
I mean, it wasn't even mates club for us. We were literally, I think there was 10 people actually wanted to come and do it. It didn't have the grandeur that it does now.
Right.
It wasn't like a spectacle. You were asking everyday people to pull out quite a lot of money to give up a holiday maybe to go across and play Warhammer instead. And we just didn't have 40 or 50 people biting at the bit. It was literally a small pool to pick from, which is massively different now.
Well, so we had 20 applications that went in for players in the end. And the way that worked is we put up a thing. Again, it was all done through the Team England Discord, and we tried to advertise it as much as we can. And should me and Richie get back in next year, we're going to try and advertise it 10 times as much.
Right.
The goal is to have over 100 applications so that we can truly get a massively good team in lots of different aspects.
Mm-hmm.
So then we got those 28 applications through, and then it became a process of, between me, Richie, and the 2 chairmen who got voted in as well, we just went through all of the applications. We went, right, who's a good player? Who's a faction specialist? Most importantly, who's a good person? And then through a very rigorous process of elimination that didn't just come down to your rankings.
Yeah.
Like me and Richie have said in lots of other videos, one of the key things that we wanted was people who knew their armies backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
We bring it up a lot, but Steve Toll's an incredible Chaos player. I don't know if there's anyone who knows the army as well as him. And it's all he plays competitively.
Yes, most certainly, yeah.
So we wanted people like that. Now, there might be people who are better with him at Chaos at a given moment, but then when the meta shifts, we need people who are there. You go, oh, what's that? Chaos Warhounds are really good now. That's wicked. I got good with them 18 months ago. I know what I'm doing, Yeah. So we were looking for things like that. That was the real key point in the selection process. And then we had a team. So we
Yeah.
had our 8 players. Inclusive in those 8 players was myself and Richie as vice and captain. And then we had our head coach with Alex. We had our 2 subs as Andy and Mop. So they both applied for players as well, completed the team selection, and then we'd asked a number of people if they wanted to be subs. Andy
Yeah.
and Mop were the ones. And it is a lot of commitment to be a sub, because you're saying, I'm going to give all my time up. I'm going to go to the practices. I'm going to do all the team chat, but I'm not going to play on the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, real big shout out to Andy and Mop, because it's got to take a lot to do that.
For sure.
You know, so people who say, oh, they're just a sub, no, they put in just as much work as us, but they don't get the glory of rolling the dice on the day.
Mm-hmm.
Made damn sure he lifted a trophy on the day because they earned it. So yeah, that was the team, and then we were set.
Cool. So you then went on, once you'd selected the team, to your practice, getting the reps in, and the Nations event.
Yeah, so we'd done loads of practicing. We're very lucky that we're sponsored by Warhol.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, it's a really, really good tabletop simulator that's designed for the 9th age, but has got an old world skin over on the top of it, so that you can play, in combination with New Recruit, you can play pretty decent games online. Now, they're not the most visually engaging, but they get the mechanics down for you. So as a competitive practice tool, they're phenomenal. Thing to say about Warhol is we did join the Warhol online WTC, and it taught us a lot about ourselves. We did not do well in that event whatsoever. Right. And it gave me and Richie a really good direction to then rebuild it into, which we then showed at the Home Nations event.
Yes. So just a reminder, you just won the Home Nations, yeah?
We did. We got a straight through on that one as well. So Home Nations was England, Scotland, Ireland, Wales. Combined Irish one for that event as well. That was a cracking event as well, done up in Newcastle. Yourself, you were judge ref on the second day, weren't
Yes,
you?
I was one of the refs on the second day. Give us a chance to come along and meet the guys. As I say, I've been out of Warhammer for a lot of years. I missed 8th edition completely, so I was meeting new people, getting to know some of the new guys on the block and stuff like that. And it was a real good event. I enjoyed coming along and watching and giving out a couple of trophies.
It was great fun. And you were at the scrimmage that we had as well, as where Pash put together a great team, Scots and Northerners for us and that was our first real test as a team.
Yes, and I did actually get to play in that one. I won a game and then got my face kicked in.
But you gave us a run for our money at that scrimmage, and it was all moments like that. And I really want to thank everybody who played a single game against us, because every single game and every single dice roll helped put us to where we are now as a team.
Yeah. I mean, that helped you initially start off by getting the pairings put together, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, prior to that, Richie and I had never done 8-man pairings. We'd never done it before.
Yeah, and it's very important. I think a lot of people don't maybe know how important pairings are to team play.
And how different they get when you add in more players. So we'd had quite a bit of experience at 4-man teams.
Yeah.
A decent amount of experience at 5, but we've never done 8.
Yeah.
And it's a whole other level. It's a whole other level. 5, having the odd numbers in 5-mans, it gives you a certain tactical edge with pairing.
Yeah.
With 8, you have so many more ways it can go. And I got a little bit beautiful mind on that pairing. As soon as we got out of Home Nations, I realized quite how deep the rabbit hole could go on the pairings and on the matrices. And I loved it. I loved every second of that. I'm sworn to bloody secrecy as to what we discovered. But
no problem. I'll not probe into that then.
But it's just, if you are mathematically minded, which, let's face it, we're Warhammer players, most of us like numbers, you can really get noodly on that, and you can find some very, very interesting things when you dig down inside it, if you're into statistics and algorithms and stuff like that.
And do you think you let the parents influence what army choices you made, or did you just go with the armies that you knew you were best with?
The answer is kind of yes to both of those. We have players on our team who are incredible with certain armies.
Yeah.
And players on our teams who can flex into armies. So James Ramsey is a really good example of a player who we knew from the get-go. We didn't bring him on as a faction specialist. He's a game specialist.
Yeah.
He can play anything near enough. Give him 2 weeks with any army and he'll figure it out. So James we used as our flex option, but the others, it was trying to find, pretty much every faction has 3 or 4 routes they can go with the Arcane Journals, plus the Grand Army, plus Innovation.
Yeah.
It was going, okay, you're going to play dwarves. You're going to play, like Richie was always going to play dwarves. Let's face it, he was never not going to do that.
Yeah, he doesn't play anything else, does he?
Exactly. So it was finding the right dwarf army for him, because when the process started, he was doing the Royal Clans block, the Richie Yeet, throwing things forwards, and then it evolved into gyrocopters, and we went backwards and forwards between the two during the entire thing, and pairings matter as to what armies you take.
Yeah, because you need a certain amount of defensive armies.
They've got to complement each other as well. There was a number of teams where you might have, and I did actually see some people criticize certain teams' choices inside their lists.
Right.
But then you looked at it as an overarching thing. You go, okay, well, maybe he's not taken the best combo at a singles list, but when you put this list next to that one in a pairing, you're left with only bad choices.
Mm-hmm.
And it's using that different level of nous, basically, and tactic.
Right. Yeah, so it's quite interesting, that pairing side of it. And then right in the middle of it, you've kind of got a bomb dropped on you, didn't you?
Well, a triple bomb almost.
Yeah.
So up until June 15th, I'm a Beastman player.
Yeah.
I get my Arcane Journal. Holy hell, it busts everything wide open. 2 weeks later.
Amazing.
Okay, that goes in the bin now.
Because 1.51 comes out.
Because 1.5 comes out. Right, okay, cool. Magic's all changed. Oh, crap. Oh, fuck. Everything goes wrong. And it's like the klaxons going off in our heads.
Yeah.
And you're getting leaks coming out from everywhere, which are 90% nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
And we were left with one or two choices. In hindsight, we made the wrong one. We tested everything.
Right.
That was option one. Option two was, let's just keep going and we'll wait for the book to come out and then we'll test it.
Right.
We tested everything to death. And what it meant was when the book then finally came out, we were second guessing ourselves. Like Poison, we heard like 4 different iterations of it.
Yeah.
You know, we heard 3 different iterations of what was going to happen with the magic thing.
Yeah.
We heard X magic item was getting nerfed. This one was getting boosted. And we thought, right, if we test everything, we'll be ready for anything. But in hindsight, moving forwards, if that happens again, I'll just ignore the leaks.
Yeah, and just wait for the actual information to come out.
Yeah.
Because 1.5, I believe, from what I understand, changed 3 armies in the selection. It changed Dave's Poison Blob Goblins. It changed your Beastmen, and
James was originally going to be playing Beastmen.
Yeah.
And then he switched into High Elves. Let's say Cathay never came out, I would have been playing either Beastmen or Chaos Dwarves.
Right.
So all of that got messed up. Steve was playing a traditional 3 dragon army. That went in the bin. Yeah, like you say, Dave's Gobageddon went in the bin. The Royal Host went totally in the bin. That had to be reinvented from the ground up, which Scott did an awesome job of, by the way. Like, some people say, oh, you just put 300 skellies on the board. Some of the things that he was doing was so damn clever.
You've still got to play them and you've still got to protect them.
Yeah, there was just some really clever tech going on inside the units as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there were a few like direct army trade outs, but there was, within everyone except for Charlie, there was a huge shift in how the army was built up. Charlie, being our Vampire Counts player, just went, oh, I win.
Yeah, because vampires just aren't affected by it. In fact, they just get better.
Yeah, he had to make one change, which was the stupidity helm. Oh, I'll just take that out.
Got rid of that.
I'll get rid of that, shall I? And other than that, he was just like, oh, I'm just going to keep on innovating and doing what I'm doing. Me with Cathay, that was a wild ride from when the book came out. Being the owner of a 3D printing company, it was quite easy for me to get models going.
Yeah.
So I've got 7 balloon models printed because when the book came out, that's what you could take. And then it gets nerfed, and it gets nerfed again, and it gets comped. Yeah. And people start raging, and then I could take 2 to Germany. So
it comes down quite considerably from 7.
It does, yeah. So, but I'm glad for it, honestly. When we were doing the testing with 4+, it's horrid. It's absolutely horrid.
I mean, whatever way you look at it, every team was going to have a Cathay army, probably.
Exactly, yeah. And props to the Hungary player for not playing balloons. He ran double Sentinel like a hero.
Yeah.
You know, like got 5 really good games out, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I guess, again, when you've got your list, you can always just try to get them matchups that it's beneficial into.
Yeah.
2 of the Sentinels that are only taking like 1 wound a hit, and just put them in front of your army so that cannons are almost worthless.
They're still good.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not as broken as a hot air balloon, but they're still very good. But we did have a lot of shake-ups and a lot of changes, and we had a whole new game to play.
Yeah.
And I can't think of any fantasy team in the past who has had a full edition, because that's what it was. Let's be honest. It was a full edition change 4 months before Worlds.
No, I absolutely agree that there's nothing worse for planning and preparing for an event like this to have the almighty sort of Damocles dropped on your head.
Yeah.
Just before you are going to go away. You got loads of reps in by yourselves, and it just, a lot of that practice, it wasn't worthless, but a lot of that practice just went in the bin.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the most sorry for the Dragon players. I mean, I've said this on another podcast. You said it was a 6th place tape. I think I came in first, so I'm going to reiterate it. People who got very, very good at playing Dragons, 1.0 to 1.3, honed a skill.
Yeah.
That skill is not worthless. It has just gone down in value. 1.5, the people who are very, very good at piloting dragons have now had to learn an extra skill set and can't rely on just here's a big monster.
Yeah, you got to have 2 big monsters now.
Yeah, you have to double down on everything. You could just throw one thing into. You've got to throw 2 now, and then that it's a whole different ball game.
Or at least, I mean, the way I've looked at it is, yes, you can have two, but you can also have one, but you've got to have a fast unit that's got a champion in to kind of come in
Yeah.
and do that challenge job.
And they're even then, you're talking about it's not as good because your dragon's now capped to 500 points.
Mm-hmm.
Your unit's capped to 500 points. You know, there's a lot of things which have changed that ball game entirely. So yeah, like I think there was a lot of people who really, really had to learn how to reinvent the wheel, and they were learning to do so with a balloon standing over them.
Yes.
Because whilst everyone was trying to relearn how their lists work, you had that constant threat in the back of your head going, what am I going to do against Cathay? So we had to talk to a lot of our players and go, just don't.
Yeah.
One of you every single round is basically going to learn how to run.
So did you do anything like design an army to try to beat Cathay and get the matchup? Or did you just think, if we get it, we'll just take that as one of the like draw losses?
You see it in singles at the moment where people who are attacking really, really hard into Cathay do well at that job and nothing else. And they get bodied by everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Mortuary Cult is about the only one who can pull that trigger properly, and some vampire counts that have really teched hard into Ethereal.
Yeah.
We did take a decently heavy Ethereal vampire counts army, but it wasn't teching into Cathay. It was teching into people who didn't take mages.
Yes.
Or didn't take magic weapons. Cathay just falls into that bracket. We didn't take a Mortuary Cult army, basically because we didn't have a player who enjoyed playing it.
Right.
And wasn't Scott is better at Royal Host than he is Mortuary Cult, so we weren't going to make him. And we understood a technique within our pairings which meant that we could dodge it.
Yes.
It was a very similar technique to what people were doing with Royal Host in 1.3 in Teams gameplay. You couldn't beat it, so you had to learn to dodge it.
Yes.
And that's kind of probably as deep as I can go into detail on that one.
Oh, yes. I mean, obviously, we don't want you spilling your gold.
Yeah. I'll have people knocking at my door.
Yes. So, next up, you've got your travel and your team building. So, you've got to get from England to Germany. How did that go?
So, I'm not great with travel. And I'm like 3 hours before we depart, I'm at the airport. I have paper boarding passes still. I'm that kind of person.
Right.
So I wanted to know 3 months before we left how people were getting there, what hotels they were at, and I've got a spreadsheet for everything.
Mm-hmm.
I've got all the guys' room numbers when we're in the hotel. I want to know where everybody is.
Yeah. You all stayed in the same hotel, did you?
Yeah, so we were really, really lucky that the venue was a cracking hotel in Mel, and it was like a 4-star, or it wasn't all inclusive. We got bed and breakfast, but it was stunning. Had a spa inside the hotel that we had access to for free.
Cool.
So we all got there on the Friday. Richie got there in the morning. He flew over into Amsterdam with his missus. I drove over to Rotterdam with Alex, our coach, and then we had a bunch of Northerners plus Jack catch the ferry over, and the rest flew.
Yeah.
So we all met up on Friday night.
So it was planes, trains, and automobiles getting across there.
For Charlie, it was, bless him. Every single method of transportation he used to get from England to Mel was delayed or cancelled.
Oh, poor bow.
Every single, even down to getting the taxi out of the train station. Couldn't get one. So then Andy had to go pick him up at 10:30 at night after travelling for 12 hours.
Sometimes the dice just don't go in your favour, do they?
No, they don't. But luckily, that's really where our worries ended for the weekend. Oh, no, sorry. Alex lost his wallet on the way over as well. Left it in a restaurant in Rotterdam. So, yeah, it's all kinds of nonsense. But we got there. And my main worry throughout this whole process was one person's not going to make it there.
Yes.
For whatever reason.
We've got the subs for that.
That's why we had the subs. That's why Mott was there. And yeah, but we got there all in one piece. Richie didn't get bitten by a spider this time. So, yeah, it's all good.
Tarantula attacked.
Yeah, so we got there. Friday was all about de-stress, chill. We're not other teams are playing practice games upstairs. That was a no from us. We'd done enough at that point. It was have a couple beers, but only a couple. Have some nice food. We all had a slap-up 3-course meal. Yeah. And then we all went to bed.
No, I think that's the right thing. I don't think you were going to get any benefit from playing them last-minute games. I don't think you want to play...
It would have been bad for us. We'd have psyched ourselves out.
Yeah.
Anyone who lost that practice game would have gone into the following morning feeling shit about themselves.
Yep, definitely. And you certainly don't want to start playing players outside of the England team and giving away...
God, no.
Player styles and...
We'd have played against any of the home nation teams, I reckon. Yeah. I reckon we'd have done that because we'd played them quite recently. Yeah, I don't think it would have been beneficial to us whatsoever to have played another country.
Yeah, so you're sitting there Friday night, having your meal. You're obviously discussing who you want to play and who you don't want to play.
Yeah. So we've got our matrices filled out. I've got 18 spreadsheets with every single team on it, with every single list on it.
Yeah.
So there were a few. We had Hungary the following morning. That's who we knew we were paired into. And Dave was the one chomping at the bit to go into the goblins because he respects this guy so much. He loves the concept of it. He's building this army of a giant brick of frenzied goblins. But other than that, no one's really chomping for an army. No one's like, I want this, I want that, because everyone has kind of settled to a point of just acceptance.
Right.
And it was really quite nice. So everyone just turned around and just went, just do what you do. Just do the pairings. Just get me a good pairing. I'm not going to ask you for anything. You already know.
Yeah. And were you happy with Hungary? Did you think that was a good first rounder?
Yeah. We were told that they were shoo-ins for Best Sporting.
Right.
They did quite well in that voting as well for Best Sporting. We'd heard from Team Italy, who had played them in the previous year's event, that they were a really good set of players who have a very abstract meta.
Right.
And that showed in their lists, where they were playing things that were very foreign ideas to us. And so we learned a lot out of those games as well. And there were such lovely people. It was a really good way to go into that first game. And we did really well out of it as well.
Yeah. So then, any other teams you really didn't want to come up against?
So there was no one that we didn't want to come up against out of like a boogeyman aspect.
Yeah.
There were, we called it like the big set, the big five in our mind, where it was like, right, if we come up against any of these, it's put your game heads on to be really goddamn serious about things. So it's Denmark, Belgium, USA, Germany, and France.
Yeah, I mean, the Danes have always been very strong at Warhammer.
Yeah.
USA have got a bit pedigree.
Well, they won the online.
Yeah.
USA had. So Italy was in that grouping as well, because Italy had won the previous year's one.
Right.
And they'd won the GT that we went to in April.
In April, yes, yeah.
So they were one to watch as well. France were one to watch just because they are traditionally incredibly good wargamers.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a really good pedigree as well. They've been murdering it in the mainline games recently. And, Nicky's a regular on the UK circuit, so we know he's he's decent.
Mr. Boucher.
Mr. Boucher, Nicky Bucket, Dave Part 2. So, it was that. Germany and Belgium just gave us a tough run for our money whenever we were writing the pairings. Anytime we came up into that matrix, it was a little bit more difficult. So all of those teams, it was a case of if we come up against them, let's put our game heads on, and we played most of them. Didn't play Germany, didn't play the States.
Yeah. So let's just go through the rounds. So you started off with Hungary, and you basically, I think it was pretty much straight wins across the board, wasn't it?
I think it was a clean sweep, if not for a draw. There's a running joke which you'll all start to understand as things go on, that Andy can't count past 10. Not this Andy, the one on that team.
So that was round one. Now I'm going to let you talk me through the teams, because I think I can remember them. I just can't remember the order you got them in.
I'll have to bring up New Recruit on my phone because I'm that frazzle-brained. I will not be able to remember. 2 secs.
No worries.
So we had... it was Italy next. So the second round was Italy.
Yeah.
Now, we respected these guys deeply. They are very passionate players, very energetic players. And we knew that going into this, it was going to be a really, really good match, but an exhausting one. They were going to really make us run for our money. The pairings on this one, a little bit more familiar for me and Richie, because we'd like to think we'd had a bit of experience because we'd paired against this captain previously.
Right.
Turned out to kind of work in our favour on that one. It meant that we got very, very strong pairings going into the round.
Right. And it was 4 wins each, was it, with you guys slightly edging the points?
Yeah, but it was the wins.
It was a draw. It was a draw.
Yeah. 4 wins and a draw, and it puts it 83 to 77. Out the back of that round, though, I think we'd then dropped to 3rd place.
Right.
At that point, which sounds really dramatic. Yeah. Oh no, 4th place. Sorry, at the end of round 2. So we'd still won. We'd capped it our first one, so we scored 100 points. We scored 83 on our second one. Uncapped at this point, we would have been in 2nd place overall. To Italy, weirdly enough, they did insanely good in their first round. We'd still won 2 games. Quite a lot of people had won 2 games at that point, and going into then round 3, it meant that it was time to get really quite hardcore about things.
Yeah, and this was France.
This was France. This was a case of we have to push now. We had to, and during the France round, we made a decision we needed to create a gap and maybe play slightly a bit harder than we'd had in the past.
Right.
Maybe take a couple more risks here. And if we could create basically, if you could separate from the pack at this point, it would take the pressure off a bit. We had quite strong matrices going into France. We felt quite confident about this one.
And I think you got 4 games almost maximum points in this, didn't you?
Personally, I did cap on this one. It's Empire versus Cathay. Whoever gets first turn generally wins that one.
Mm-hmm.
And I popped 2 of his 3 cannons on turn 1. So those things happen.
Yeah. It puts you in a good position.
It does. So coming out the back of France, we did win that one. And that meant that going to bed on that final day, we're in first. we're pretty much sorted at this point. We know what we got, but we've got the big swingers in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
We know we've got Denmark in the morning, and we know we're near enough guaranteed Belgium in the afternoon.
Right. So you kind of that was already in your heads, was it?
Yeah, it's near enough guaranteed at that point because we played everyone else in the top bracket then. We'd already played. We were hoping to have played USA at that point, but they'd had a couple of really rough rounds. Their first one going into the Netherlands, they'd lost, and that pushed them way down. So we were hoping that by round 3, they might have come back up again. Unfortunately, they haven't. So we knew that that was out of the chance of us playing them. So yeah, it was Denmark and Belgium left to go. And Denmark was probably our hardest pairings matchup going into it.
Yeah, they're like robots, the Danes at times when they play.
Couldn't get a read on them. Really couldn't get a read on them. I think pairings and poker are two very, very similar skill sets. Being able to sit across from a table and look someone dead in the eye, you need to be able to tell what they're thinking, what they're going to do next, what kind of person they are. Are they a risk taker? Are they an aggressive person? Are they a defensive person? None of these are good or bad traits. They're just traits that tell you how a person is going to play.
Yeah.
If possible, I like to have a conversation with the person I'm about to do pairings with, not to try and plant anything in their head, just try and gauge them.
Just to read them a bit.
Yeah. I'm no Darren Brown, beautiful mind type. I'm learning all of this at the moment. I'd never done this shit 18 months ago at all. But I'm starting to understand and respect the level of, I don't know what the right word is, but mental thought. You know, that goes into it. I'm sure
it's a mind game of sorts.
It is, but I'd like to think there's a more eloquent way of putting that. But yeah, mind game makes it sound like it's a negative thing when it's not.
There probably is, but I'm not giving you that word.
We're doing it to each other. I don't want it to seem like I'm attacking them, but yeah.
Yeah.
So Danes was great. That was tough. But me and Richie woke up on that Sunday morning in a bad way, in a really, really, really bad way. The anxiety had hit both of us like a truck of bricks.
Right.
We've both been up since about pacing downstairs from about 6 o'clock in the morning. I'd done a 5-kilometer lap around the hotel twice, and I am a big fat boy. I can tell you walking's not on my repertoire on a daily basis. So doing 10K before the sun was up, that was a wild one.
Because being in first place is a stress of its own.
Yeah, and I'm glad we hadn't found out another part of it. I think if I'd have known what kind of first place we were about to win, it would have messed with me on a different level entirely. But for those who aren't aware, and you're actually probably an authority on this one, Andy, you might be able to back me up on this, there has never been an English WTC winner for fantasy before.
No, I don't even think there's been a podium in the
ETCWC. What we can tell, in 2000, I think it was in the late 2000s, but we went back to 2004 on some Wayback Machine websites.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really glad I didn't know that on Sunday morning. Otherwise, that really would have, put a brick in my pants. But yeah, so we put our heads back in the game. Richie had a really bad game on the Saturday evening in terms of his opponent thought he'd had a stroke. A blood vessel had popped in his nose, screaming with blood. He was getting all dizzy, making stupid mistakes, and he ended the game. It was my turn on the Sunday morning. And I was just making the silliest mistakes all game, forgetting to dispel things, forgetting to roll dice for stuff, not moving things. And so I really apologized to my opponent. I've said I really hope I meet them again next year and give them a good rematch because I owe them that game.
And I think it's probably worth expanding on that right now, that unless there'll not be many people watching this who aren't Warhammer players, but there might be some people watching this who aren't tournament players. The level of stress that can be put on you in a tournament, never mind a massive tournament like a World's tournament, is unfathomable. Yeah, it can really actually play tricks with your body. It can give you sleep problems. I've also suffered nosebleeds during games before. It's wild.
Well, I slept 3 hours across the weekend total. I was very, very unwell. Not because I had food poisoning or anything like that, just nerves. I'm a big lad. I had a bread roll to eat on Saturday. That was it. That's all I had. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't exactly chain smoking either. I was just a wreck. An absolute wreck. So I binned my first game on the Sunday, and just a huge thank you to Dave Brewis on our team, because when you are in a position of management, not only on a team but in the working world as well, it's you don't have anyone to turn to sometimes. When things go wrong, you're the one where people want to turn to you. Yeah. And at that point, obviously Richie's there for me and the coach is there for me, but they've got big things going on, and I know they feel just as crap as I do right now. So I just one day we just, I just need 5 minutes with you, mate. And we just sat on my balcony and we just had a cigarette and we just had a cup of coffee and we just talked,
Yeah.
about nothing really, and really brought me back from the brink. And it just showed me how important it is to be on a team with people that you genuinely call your friends.
Yeah, and this is the team building element I was talking about before. I don't think people will understand if they haven't been part of a team like this or travelled abroad. But them guys will be your friends for life.
Yeah.
Them guys are going to be people who when you go to a tournament, you want to see. You might even go and see them outside of the game.
Yeah.
But they will become some of your best friends.
We're already talking about having a Christmas social and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Scott Reed's got an incredible barbecue, which we're hoping to abuse over the years. But please, anyone who's listening who's on the fence with teams, if it's Team Warhammer, Team Magic the Gathering, whatever it might be,
Yeah.
Team Go-Karting, go do it. Go do it, because even if you're the best in your field, you've not experienced the best fun you can have until you've done teams.
No, certainly not.
There's nothing like it. I will give you that with a word of warning. Singles is going to look crap to you afterwards.
That's a point I was going to come on to later on, but I dare say we can cover it now. In that, how do you feel going back into single tournaments now after playing that team style for so long?
So I've only played 2 events this year so far, and that's due to the busyness behind teams.
Mm-hmm.
I'm obviously not guaranteed to get back in next year. It's a very open system, so both me and Richie are no longer the captain and the vice captain. We're going to get hopefully voted back in, but that's only a hopefully. If I get voted back in, we've got an event in March, an event in April, an event in June, an event in September.
Yeah.
That's a lot. It's a lot of money, it's a lot of time, and it's a lot of effort. So realistically, that means from March onwards, no, I won't be going to singles. And if I do go to singles between now and then, so I'm coming to Forgotten North,
yes,
I am not coming to win that, boy.
No.
Not in the slightest. I'll come to win Best Painted and Best Sports.
Yeah.
And most time spent in the bar. But no, I'm bringing a bunch of Minotaurs and saying moo and pushing them across the table.
Well, that's cool, because I'm looking forward to catching up again at Forgotten North. I'm also going. I'm also not really bothered about the winning of it. I'll probably just bring an army along that I'm going to have fun with and catch up with some guys.
Yeah, this is it. Well, there's a few of the team who are umming and ahhing about coming to Forgotten North, and you've got Richie and Dave who are coming who aren't even playing.
Right.
Because we just want to see each other.
Right.
We just want to hang out. We're from all corners of the country. We've got James on the Isle of Man, and then there's all the Geordies. You've got Richie and Alex down in Hereford. You've got me in Leicester. You've got Mop and Ed in Nottinghamshire. So it's all over the shop, absolutely all over the shop. So we're looking forward to these big events. We're gutted we couldn't come to LGT. Absolutely.
Oh, no, it's just bad timing, that, isn't it?
Well, we're supposed to be looking after it and all. Me and Richie were. So great shout out to Rich Manklow, because that's one of the biggest social gatherings of wargamers in the country. So I would have loved to have gone to that. But yeah, I'm not saying that I'm not going to go to singles because I don't enjoy it. And for everyone saying, oh, but Cathay, whatever. There were dragons 6 months ago. You still went.
Oh, yeah. I mean, once Cafe is gone, it'll just be the next biggest thing.
It will. And the thing is, you're going to have 3 to 5 people at every event who want to take max balloons. And you go, okay, cool. Enjoy playing each other on Sunday.
Yeah.
Most people look at the first non-Cathay player as the person who wins the event, realistically. If you've brought Cathay, you've come on easy mode. And I say this as a Cathay player for Team England. No, I'm never running them at singles.
No, I mean, I've basically took mine, put them in a box, and I'm hoping that this Saturday someone buys them off us, because I'm just I'm not interested in being that guy at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I went through the same motions with Chaos Knights when they first came out in 40k. Oh, look at this sick model. Oh, it's too good.
Yeah, look what I can do.
But then Knights in 40k, they came down, they were playable again. I don't know what they are now, so hopefully there's a world in which the balloons can be used without making your opponent cry.
Well, here's fingers crossed that JTY sorts them out. Well, it's going to be January probably now. I don't see anything happening before then.
Nah, but maybe.
Yeah.
But I personally, this is again why I like teams. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that one army's balked, because you just ignore it.
What are these? I think, did you say 4 or 5 events next year? So there's probably going to be a nations event.
Yep, so 6 nations. Battle for Waterloo is in the process of being done. So that is 6 nations plus Belgium, Germany.
Right.
Then there's the WTC Online.
Right.
Which I wouldn't play in, but then that is still a lot of organisation to be a part of. And then you got the big one, obviously, in September. That's Clash of Nations. It's going to be in Talavera in Spain next year.
Spain, right? Oh, that'd be hot.
It looks gorgeous. About an hour south of Madrid.
Yeah, and now they're doing the other one that you went to. Was it Italy?
Italy, yeah, they are not WTC or ITC events though, so
Right.
they are just good old fun events. That's all they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So any teams that would be going to that won't be affiliated with Team England moving forwards because
Okay.
there's one coming up in November, and that will be in the dead zone, if you would, between when we've been voted out and voted back in again. So it's just a case. They are great fun and great training grounds, but aren't official Team England events.
Okay. So the big question: what does it feel like to be a winner?
It's weird, man. It's really weird. It was very emotional. It was incredibly emotional on the Sunday. I've never seen 10 grown men cry in one place before for a happy thing.
Yeah.
Never seen that. I saw that. I got to soak Richie from head to toe with a bottle of pretty decent champagne. It was a wicked video of it. Can't wait for that. I think he put a short of it up. I got to call my son, my 5-year-old son, and I got to tell him, your daddy's a world champion.
Yeah.
And he told me he's proud of me.
There was a bit of a to-do online about Warhammer not being a sport, or shouldn't be treated like a sport, and the guy got shot down.
Yeah.
Yes, do we define it as a sport? Does it matter if we define it as a sport? You still went out there and you beat all of the teams that were put in front of you, and then you can rightfully be proud of that achievement and celebrate it.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't really care what people label it as. You can label it as a sport, as a hobby, as a pastime. I spent 3,000 hours this year on it.
Yeah, and a lot of money.
A lot of money. Like, just the ticket in itself was 170 euros.
Mm-hmm.
So that puts it into comparison, the level we're paying as opposed to a normal event.
Yeah.
Because you having to pay for a lot more stuff. And it was worth every damn second of it. I'm not officially the vice captain right now. I'm already talking to hotels in Talavera for next year as if I were, just in case. I'm already planning matrices for Six Nations and for Waterloo. All of this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, it might not be a sport, but what is it? I don't really know. Mm-hmm. But is it one of the best things I've ever done with my life? Yeah.
Yes, for sure. And let's face it, I think, same as myself. I was in the team a long, long time ago, and I would do anything to help Team England. Mm-hmm. Come along and TO, come along and play against you. I'm sure whether you get in the team or not next year, you're the same. You'd be happy.
Well, I mean, like the sponsorship's not going anywhere. That's for starters. It probably make my life a bit easier if I wasn't on the team for the accountancy. But yeah, like the amount of work we've put into it, we don't press the delete button on the Google Drive.
No, definitely not.
I'd like to think that it would never come to that because, if I don't get in as vice, I'd reapply as a player.
Yeah.
And I'd hope I'd at least get in on that level. But I feel like me and Richie have done something, and not just us, but the whole team, but me and Richie from a management side of something. We've done something pretty damn special this year.
Yeah.
We went in when people were saying that England was a sixth-rate team coming up into WTC, saying that we had a version of the meta which people didn't believe and a way of doing things which would never work. Mm-hmm. And we just 5-0'd it. We didn't just win, we convincingly won it. We won it capped, we won it uncapped, and we did it with 3 best sporting votes. And there's no one who's been able to say that before. So I think with that level of experience and the dedication that me and Richie are showing even now, I hope it puts us in for a good chance next year.
Yeah, mate. I mean, I for one hope that the pair of yous do get re-elected.
Cheers, mate.
Just the chance to go out there and do it again. You've done it once, but what an amazing thing it would be to do it twice.
Well, the thing that's on my mind now is I don't think anyone's done it 3 times.
Yeah.
There's been the French team, I think, did it just back-to-back this year with 40K. It was either 40K or Age of Sigmar. For the first time, did it back-to-back. Pretty cool to do it 3 times. And, the Grand Slam would be awesome. The level of painting out there was unreal.
Yes, there's normally some very good armies out there.
By no means was it unreal across the board.
Yeah.
But the 10 armies that got put up for best painted were genuinely something special.
Yeah.
So Team Belgium for winning best painted did a cracking job, and Team Wales for winning best sported the same. But we've got our eyes on those 2 trophies next year.
Yeah, I mean, most sport, and that's a trophy that we brought home. I did actually have, I can't remember which one it was. One of them was having a bit of a moan that he a bit of painting points knocked off because his cannon crew weren't painted.
And we told him, don't beat your cannon crew on the table.
Yeah.
Don't even need them.
Amateur.
But yeah, it was all in good fun though. And yeah, I think everyone had a great weekend. Big shout out to Team America for making the long old trip over, and for Team Ukraine for just managing to get a team together.
Yeah, for sure.
Like this,
I mean, the Americans are mad for coming to these events. They'll love it.
Yeah, I'd shudder to think how much it costs, though.
Yeah. And I know historically, like before even my ATC time, England and America have played many times against each other. Us going across there, them coming across here.
Yeah, there's a big call out for any teams from Asia or Africa to get involved as well, because we didn't have a single one from Asia, Africa, or Australia. But I know the Aussies are on it. I know I haven't got to remind them. I know they're already on it.
Yeah, I mean, we've played against the Australians before. We had an Ashes running for many years.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to get them back out.
We'd be very interested in an Ashes. Very interested in an Ashes. That conversation came up, so we've even got an idea for it. We're going to set fire to the rule book and we're going to put it in a cup. So yeah,
Is that the version 1 rulebook that's no use anymore because it's...
You got it. Yeah, the running joke is they're actually more useful as Ashes. You can use it.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've just bought a box of Tomb Kings and I know there's a rule book in there, so I'll donate that to the Ashes.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to more of these coming up. We had 18 teams at WTC this year. I think it's not wild to say 25, 26 is a reality for next year.
I think
really
so.
Cool to see.
Yeah, especially, as I say, it was the first chance to get a real WTC out with the old world being so new, and it can only get bigger and better.
This is it, and I hope it does. Next year as well, the location where it is, it's a convention centre, not a hotel. So spectators will be way easier to get in and way cheaper as well.
So did England not get a chance to bring it back here for next year, or is that not part of the way it runs?
We didn't put a bid in. So no one, there was a bid put through, was talked about, although it never went through in the end. The bidding process has got nothing to do with Team England itself.
Right. It's extraneous to the actual run of the team.
Yeah, so there is nothing stopping anyone on Team England from creating a bid. Like, for example, Scott Reed has got a lot to do with Forgotten North. He could, for example, put one up there. Just chose not to, and I think that was wise because I've seen how much work
goes into
Fred. Well, so Fred is the captain of Team Germany and the chairman. So that must be an astronomical amount of work. So he was the TO for the event, the chairman. Right. And the non-player captain for Germany. I don't know how he slept ever.
Probably not a lot, to be honest.
Probably no. So, I think it's just balancing things like that. So if there are people who've got access to a 200-person space for something like that in the UK, and you've got your eyes set on 2027, put a bid together.
Yeah.
You've got the WTC Clash of Nations Discord, the World Team Championships website. All the information's on there. But personally, I've got nothing to do with it. So yeah, would love to have one here though. I'd like to travel much less.
Yeah, I mean, we have the LGT, which is a quite big event. But unlike America, where they've got like Gen Con and stuff like that, we don't really have any massive convention events in England. And I think it's a bit of a waste. There are some venues that could host them. It's just not many people want
like
to put them
NEC, NIA, Olympia, these could all take us, but it takes money, time, and effort. These are the three things which are in short supply these days, aren't they? So, but then if you're the managing director of the NEC and you're watching this video, please get in touch.
Oh, sure. So one last question before we part ways. Let's just say you and Richie do get installed again next year. Mm-hmm. What do you do differently? What do you do better?
Expansion is the name of the game. That is the main thing that we've got on our minds next year.
Bigger pool
of people to be able to go to more events.
Right.
We've also recognised that there are two different types of wargamers in today's world.
Yeah.
Two different types of competitive wargamers. You have your online ones and your tabletop ones.
Certainly,
I'm in the second category.
Yeah.
I am nowhere near as good on Warhol as I am online, and I'm not a nice player on Warhol either. I'm a dick.
Yeah.
Because I'm not looking at you, and it just gets really keyboard warrior-y really fast. So I don't play in them. There are players who are the opposite of me, who don't do well on a table and do really well on Warhol.
Online.
Yeah. So we've recognised that, and so we want to have an online-only England team.
Right.
And we want to have groups and pods of players that can go to different events, because it is a financial burden going to all of these.
I'm an online gamer. I play a lot of games online and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I've tried Warhol once and I just shut it down. It just upset us. I don't know what it was about it. I'm not saying Warhol isn't good. It just wasn't.
It's different. It's very different. A lot of us play Warhammer for immersive purposes.
Yeah.
And a lot of us have got an artistic reasoning behind the game, be it converting or painting models. That a lot of that, you lose the uniqueness and you lose the immersiveness. It becomes closer to chess than it does D&D, I suppose.
Yeah, because all the movement's perfect. And
yeah, like if you had a sliding scale of chess to D&D and Warhammer sits there, Warhol's like that, closer to chess, you know. Like, so it's just different. We still use it as a really, really good practice tool. It's great for working really quick strategies and also for testing armies before pulling the trigger on things. Mm-hmm. So it's a very, very good tool, and we'll continue to use it, and we're still very grateful for the sponsorship on them.
Yeah.
But we've just realized that we need to expand things there. More events, bigger stuff. We want to bring more coaches in.
Right.
Have a bigger support team as well. Alex, I think, wants to go for a team manager role again, and it wants to bring in 2 to 3 coaches in underneath him. We want to take it seriously. We think we did so well this year because we took this way, way, way more seriously than most other teams there, if not all other teams, with the drinking ban, with the dossiers handed out to everybody with all their information in them, with the countless hours of preparation and things. And the spotlight's on us now.
Certainly,
we need to compound that, and
You'll be the
we
team to beat
have
next
a
year.
title to defend. So, yeah, it's just keeping on right now.
Well, so next year, I would love to be part of Team England again. I'm just not ready for it yet. I've still got a long way to go of getting back into Warhammer and stuff. One of the things I would have liked to have seen as somebody sitting at home was better coverage.
Yes.
We had New Recruit there that we could kind of follow the games on, but there was loads of us online in different chat groups here, there, and everywhere, biting for more images, more video. I think England needs to take out a correspondent next year.
Yeah, that's absolutely something we're interested in, and it's something we would have loved to have done this year. We didn't quite have the manpower for it now. Richie's got quite a lot filmed, which will be going up in a video this weekend. He's doing like a biopic type thing.
Right.
But yeah, we didn't really have the manpower to get a play-by-play done. We really wish we did. So if that is something which any of you listening are interested in doing, get in touch with Team England now.
Well, it's something that possibly interested in doing. As I say, I don't think I'll be applying for the team, but I would certainly be interested in coming out there with the cameras, using my BA in photography and video to come out there and cover the event.
And DJing in the evening, yeah?
Yeah.
But no, like, so this is what I mean. There is so much more to a team than the players.
Yeah.
And having all of these moving parts. So if you have someone doing the recaps and doing a match of the day style thing, that gets the guys at home more excited, which then gives us a morale boost in turn. And all of these things are so important.
Yeah, I mean, you've probably got some idea of the level of spin that was back here. Like, everybody was cheering for us.
Yeah.
Even some non-English people were cheering for us.
This is it. When we want you guys to feel as much of a part of it as we were, we're hoping that next year that there is going to be some streams. We've heard murmurs of that. We've heard murmurs of a potential top table stream, although that's not yet confirmed. And we've heard potentially people doing recaps throughout the day. But yeah, we want to get as many people in on this as possible, be it going there in person, getting involved with the team, or, watching things on recaps on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
But I will agree with you. There was not enough ways for people to interact with it this year. So
yeah, for sure. So all that's left to say, Tom, is I want to thank you and all the members of Team England for going out there and making it real, for bringing it home. So well done.
Thank you very much.
A little applause from me.
Hey, we try. But yeah, thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who cheered us on along the way, all of our opponents we played against. And I think most importantly, our families for putting up with us over the last year.
Well, that does bring in another point. I mean, there is a massive strain on anybody who had a family and still went out there, because I think probably most of them, I know Scott, Stephen, I know they've all got families, kids and wives.
Yeah.
So just managing that aspect of it and still putting so much time and effort into playing.
We're planning to treat them soon. There's something in the works to say thank you to all the wags. Where we don't want to ruin the surprise just yet, just in case one of them's watching.
No bother.
I know Mo likes to watch over Dave's shoulder sometimes, so we won't be giving that away. But yeah,
just get some Warhammer Wags t-shirts printed out.
We're going to say thank you. We'll leave it at that. But we don't ignore the effort it has taken from them to put up with it, because we all assured them it would only be for 1 year, and it's probably not now. So
all lies.
But yeah. So just thanks again to everyone. And if you want to continue showing your support, please do go. If you want to buy any models, please do go to the store, because we're a direct sponsor of this team. So the more you help me out, the more I can help the team out. So
and I will.
You go resin print on Etsy.
Most certainly put some links in the video when I post it up to your Etsy store.
Thank you very much.
Sadly, I won't be a purchaser because I've just bought my own 3D printer.
Have you?
Yeah. I've just bought myself, what is it, a Mars 5 Ultra.
Oh, you'll love it. Brilliant little machine. Great entry-level printer, that.
Yeah, I'm just sick of paying one of my friends to print all of my models off. I'll just do it myself now.
It's a great job. Don't tell people how easy it is. I'll be out of a profession.
Bro, all that's left to say, Tom, is thank you for giving me an hour of your time to come on here and have a chat. And fingers crossed that you and Richie get back in next year, and fingers crossed that I follow you across to do a bit of coverage.
Watch this space, I suppose. Yeah.
This is Andy saying good night. Catch us next time.